This is the English, and I already tried to beat one, and then I was like, psh, toss to the side.
Oh, that's always... Well,
we're recording, by the way. This is the English and English podcast.
English and English podcast. I hold in my hand.
You'll have to forgive us if we're a little bit off today, because normally the people we have hired to massage our genitals while we podcast, they're not here for today.
They're on strike,
they're
sort of labor dispute.
Yeah, labor dispute.
Work conditions.
This repetitive motion injury or something.
Right.
So we're a little grumpy today and unprepared. Yeah, I beat the MESA card.
Some sort of puzzle game that was lying around here.
This is the one that I beat.
Okay, let me see this. This is going to be so boring to the people who can't see what we're looking at.
Well, maybe we could post a picture of it.
Yeah.
We don't do enough of that shit. Posting pictures.
We're
kind of spoiled because no one listens, so we don't have to do anything. But it could be because we don't do anything that no one listens.
Yeah. Get back to this because it's not entertaining for us.
No, it's kind of interesting. It has a series of like colored dots. Okay. And then it has a series of words.
That. Yeah, I see that.
And you're supposed to match them up in a way that makes sense.
Okay, so
like
you're looking for a pattern.
House, obviously, and then and each one is supposed to.
I didn't read the instructions, but
fuck you. You're not in Mensa.
Well, because I said we'll do this later, not because I couldn't read the instructions.
Pretty quick. I don't know why.
I don't know why you did. You know that's what's so dumb is those like they're making the rounds on Facebook now. Oh, they've been for a while, but
like all those numbers and find one letter in it.
No, like those things where it's like, can you answer these 10 questions, and they'll be like, you're genius level when you beat it.
Because everyone answers it.
Well, there's simple things like knowing the difference between they, apostrophe, R-E, or
something
their,
you should know to not be retarded.
Like just the text thumb texting people mess it up because they're just type texting and they don't care about correcting themselves.
Kind of know it.
Or they kind of know, and it's like, you're a genius. Like, no, I'm actually just competent. Like, you know, genius level intellect, like that's what's so dumb. It's like it's so watered down that you're a smart guy if you know basic grammar or something.
Everything's losing meaning. They just want everyone to be awesome, just like hero. Now, it's like when Trump said John McCain's a hero, not a hero, just for getting captured. And well, so seriously, you want to ask these people, like, so what is a hero? Anyone who serves in the military is a hero now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's stupid.
There are heroes.
And so anyone who gets captured, even though they didn't do anything heroic, even if they were like, and jumped under a table and cowered until they got captured, now they're a hero. Not that I'm saying that's what he did. I don't know the details.
It's obviously a sacrifice. Like it's a noble thing to be a soldier, placing yourself in a position where you are willing to be captured.
That he hasn't gone through.
You know what I
mean?
Willing to be in a situation where you could be killed or captured.
Doesn't automatically mean it's heroic.
Right. Well, I mean, like it depends on how you use it. Like I said, you could make a case, like you could make a speech saying it is heroic to be the kind of person who's willing to put your life on the line for your country. But that's not, it's like it becomes watered down if you start saying that too much. And you start saying that, like, every,
words have meaning.
Right, exactly. And then, like...
It's not an insult that not everyone's done heroic. Like, I've never done anything that I would consider heroic.
No, nor I. What was I saying just before this? Why is the universe not recognize my genius?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, you
can't just fight against a man, I guess.
Right, yeah. Heroic refusal to be anything less than awesome.
Right. There was something else I was talking about right before.
You were
telling me how shitty Batman's gonna be.
Batman v Superman. Batman 4.
Even the name is so fucking stupid.
They couldn't just put verses
I came up with I may have mentioned this in the last podcast, or I may have been talking to Tony. But anytime, I can't think of any movie that's not a sequel. This doesn't necessarily apply to sequels. But this isn't really... I guess it's a sequel.
It's a sequel.
Anyways, so this doesn't necessarily apply to this one, but there are other... It was that Witch King movie is what made me think of it. With like... Witch King. It's like The Last Witch King, Star Hunter Extraordinaire, Buttfuckers Glorious. I don't know what it's called.
What? Buttfuckers Glorious? What movies are you watching?
I don't know. It's a dark corner of the internet. No, it's just Vin Diesel movie called like... something, The Last Witch Hunter. I don't remember what the first one is.
Holy crap, I've never heard of this or seen this.
Anyways, but my thesis here, I'm using science now, so other people can appreciate how much I love science.
Right.
My hypothesis...
How much you fucking love science?
Yeah, how much I fucking love science. My hypothesis is that any movie that's not a sequel that has a colon in the title is
gonna
absolute
suck.
shit. Yeah, exactly. Like Hansel and Gretel. Witch Hunters. And like, just any movie that has a colon, or like X versus... or like... what was it? Something X versus Severs. Ballistic, X versus Severs.
Yeah.
What
was that movie?
It was like Antonio Banderas and
Lucy Liu, right? Yeah.
It's any movie that has colon in it and it's not a sequel because, lots of them have, subtitles if they're a sequel.
Right.
And aren't necessarily shitty.
Right.
They may also be shitty, like Matrix: Revolutions.
Right. Yeah.
But the
movie,
colon, I can't think.
You can't count those because the colon is simply because they must amend a second title.
That's what I'm saying, and it's not shitty because of that.
Right. But the fact that they choosing to pre-amend,
it's not like you take a good movie.
No, but it's good correlation. Like you're saying, like. I see what
it shows that they don't know what they're doing, and they're trying to put
trying to make it too big.
Well, they're trying to put too many things into it, and too many elements, or it's just they don't know what they're doing. It's disjointed, or it's a bad sign.
Or they're trying to pre-amend the treacle right in there,
right? Like try to make it part of a larger series, or just the fact they do that makes it seem like that, which kind of probably hurts them. Like, is this a sequel? Like, when was the first Witch Hunt, or when was the first Buttfuckers Glorious movie?
That is glorious. We're gonna have to use that somewhere. The Buttfuckers Glorious.
Buttfuckers Glorious.
No, I think it should be a title. But the colon's after that. Like,
right.
The Buttfuckers Glorious. Like a troop. The circus of sexcapades or something like that.
Or final.
Or it should be totally clean. Like they're called the Buttfuckers Glorious. Like it's a trapeze artist family.
There's no Swedish family's last name is Buttfuckers.
Right, yeah.
With like an umlaut in it.
The Bootsfookers. The Bootsfookers Glorious.
Like, wait, why is this trapeze family called the Buttfuckers? The flying Buttfuckers.
Right, exactly.
What was the one about the flying Walenda guy who's doing the Twin Towers that has Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it?
Yeah, it's coming out. The Wire or something. The Walk.
It's called The Walk.
The Walk, yeah. That's what it is.
It's called Buttfuckers Glorious. Colon The Walk.
Right, yeah, there you go.
We should make some webcomics with the ongoing series of Buttfuckers Glorious.
And their many adventures. And they're like the Swiss Family Robinson.
Right.
But they get stranded at some point, but the Buttfuckers Glorious.
They all have heroic. They'll all be heroic.
Yeah.
Heroic adventures of this weird Eastern European family. His last name is Buttfuckers.
Right, yeah. It does not mean that in our language.
Yeah. Buttfuckers Glorious.
Well, now that we're done making sure none of our family can listen to this podcast.
That ship has sailed, my friend.
It has totally sailed.
If they're listening at this point, it's the shame on them.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Shame on us the first time.
Fool me 32 times. Yeah. Shame on
Be incredibly vulgar the first time in front of your mom, shame on you.
Yeah.
The 32nd time, shame on her.
Right.
For still being there. Still tuning in. She's like, God damn it, I'm only going to let you get away with it 67 more times.
Right. That's glorious. Well, one of the things we were talking about, jumping back here, is Batman v Superman and the colon. Yeah. Colon. There's no colon in that one.
Colon.
Oh, no, wait, there is. It's Dawn of Justice.
I know, that's what I said. But
it is
sort of a sequel, yeah.
It's a sequel.
I mean, it is. It's just, because it's not even
it's
a
not
remake.
Titled a sequel
right.
Like Superman 2.
Well, that's why the colons are there. When it's not a 2, they usually have a subtitle.
Right, yeah. But I mean, this one is the method that DC is using and Warner Brothers to do theirs is
making their movies suck. It's an interesting strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it
pays
off.
Right, yeah.
I know. Marvel's making these great movies.
Let's make
all
ours
shitty.
dour and sucky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bland like a wafer.
And let's use a color palette that represents this blandness.
Right.
Like gray.
And actors who no one wants to play the character.
I thought, what's his name, Cavill was okay.
No, he was fine. I'm talking more about
like any problems I had with the Superman movie was not his
talking about
case.
Affleck as Superman.
We'll see. I have no great hope, and I have no great disdain, because I think, casting choices that have proven contentious to begin with paid off in the end. Everybody thought Robert Downey Jr. What? Iron Man? Who? And what's his name is Joker.
The Joker one, I have to admit, I was like, what? And then I was like, that really worked.
Right, exactly. And I'm more concerned with who they picked as the Joker than I am with
for the other
Jared
one? Is he in this one?
It's the same universe, so he's going to be in it eventually.
I didn't know if he was... like in that
but not in this movie. He's in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I knew that, but he's not going to be in this movie, probably.
Maybe. They don't know. It could be a teaser, but like as a teaser thing.
Okay, not as a main part. So, I mean, if you go on IMDb, he's not going to be credited role.
No, but I mean, there's that scene where, like, there's somebody scrolled, like, ha, 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 on something, in the trailer. Anyway, like...
But they're too busy flying around. Also, it's just a premise of, like... Superman's obviously so ludicrous. If anyone fighting him is just stupid.
It's commonly happens in the comic books, but the comic books can get away with stuff that's absolutely more ludicrous.
Yeah,
and also, I mean, Superman's always portrayed as way too overpowered. Ever since the power creep has always happened, and it made it like impossible for like, and they would always retcon in some reason for him to be back to like a little bit weaker every so often, just to make it.
Well, apparently now he's like only like a super strong dude or something, like maybe Spider-Man strength or something.
No,
I saw. Yeah, they said they had. It was not long, maybe it was a few months ago, but in one of the story arcs or whatever, he like lost most of his powers or something.
Oh yeah, no. That in that storyline, like what had happened, he found like if he overloads with solar energy in the storylines now, he can burst it like out of him,
but then he has to.
But then he takes a while to charge back up. Like he can supercharge himself.
Like Dragon Ball Z.
He can Dragon Ball Z it, or he can supercharge himself. But then he's like got a day of powerlessness.
Okay.
And so he started doing it on purpose to see what it was like to be human. Then he get caught sometimes. Like, oh shit, I've got no powers.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, he would still be like way stronger than a normal human, though, right?
No, he was just like a big buff dude,
okay.
and like But yeah, so like, but maybe they've changed it since then. I haven't read the comics.
No, I didn't know. I just saw one article on it because in it he was like dealing with like police brutality or something, and I didn't know that it was only a day. They just said that he lost most of his powers. So.
Yeah, no, they don't understand the condition of the comics when I last read them, so that maybe it could be more permanent or something. Right. Who knows? Like I don't know what they're doing with the storyline. They
probably haven't figured it out yet.
I haven't been keeping up with DC Comics really at all, and for the last years, my reading of the comics has been
speaking of
as
which,
interesting.
If you know someone who wants to buy a shitload of Punisher comics, let me know. Because as much as I like having them, just having them in and of itself isn't anything.
It doesn't do anything.
And I need money.
Same thing. Like I used to get comics. There's no point in getting all these comics. But that's the sad thing about comics is that I like reading, and comics are cool because they're just a lot of stuff like science fiction and other things. You can just do crazy shit. And plenty of comics are bad, to be sure. But there's gems in there, too. But the problem is you're paying like $3 to $5 a comic, and then you just got to store it somewhere.
Right. Or toss it. You can't really cash it out of it. Even if there was a way to get like half your money back, that would be useful. But they have those like rentals now, don't they? Subscriptions.
They have digital subscriptions, but it's like pay per a month. But then you can read all the comics.
I still would want to have the physical one.
Well, that's the trade-off. You're paying like the thing, but the problem is if you don't want to collect them, it means you just got to get rid of them eventually, which is fine. Honestly, I've been fine with that. I would buy the ones I wanted to buy.
Seems like the only way to do it is if you're really serious about it is to either open a store or work at one and just get to read them all.
Right, yeah.
And not have to buy them.
Yeah, I mean, well, you could still buy them, but it's just what I'm saying is that you have to be okay with like collecting them is pointless
these days. It being a monthly bill,
right?
And not being able to keep them all.
You can't keep them all. You just can't. That's what I'm saying. Like some people have this hang up that they got to keep all the comics. It's like, look, you can keep some of them because they were extremely popular at the time, so they'll probably be commendable or expensive later. But like for the most part, just when you're done reading them, after a while, you're like, you know what? I'm never picking this series up again.
I think the way to do it would be to find a group of like 10 dudes who are into it and split the cost. Because you could like buy one comic, pass it on, everyone could read it. And you're paying a fraction of the cost instead of having like all of those guys are all going out buying the same comic book and not keeping it. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't.
Don't let Marvel or DC hear this; they'll hate this co-op idea.
Well, I mean, you don't have to do it like as a business, but just find some friends who are
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're not doing this business, obviously. But anyway, like
I mean, there might be a business there, but
back to
like a library type setup. I wonder what
I've seen some places attempt that, but it doesn't ever work.
Like a subscription service where you can go in and read whatever you want.
Right, like you pay a monthly
club.
Yeah, you pay the club. Like I actually knew a comic shop that did that once for a while, and I think they kind of still do it, but I think it just doesn't make them enough money.
Right. Well, that's the point. They're obviously getting you to spend less than you would otherwise, and they still have to buy the thing. So
right. Well, I mean, the thing is they did it with people would turn their comics that they bought from them back in for store credit or time in this rental service. Like you turn in a certain number, so that way they weren't spending any money to stock it. Because otherwise, they would never make it.
That's what I'm saying. They'd have to buy all, and then you pay.
They'd have to buy several copies of all these comics, and then these people would be paying rental monthly fee, like a library card fee, and which would be less than them buying comics.
Right. Less than you have to pay to get all the new ones every month.
Yeah, exactly. So it was never new comics. It was always a couple months behind, and it was totally dependent on people turning stuff in. Or sometimes they put comics in there that just had not sold. Like there's a certain amount of you buy 20 copies of an issue, and you sell a certain amount of them. And at a certain point, you make your money back on that purchase of 20, even before all 20 is sold.
It costs you $1 for 20.
It costs you, or not quite that good, but probably
$1 each for the 20.
Right,
You're selling for $3.50 each, then you don't have to sell all of them to make your money back.
Right, exactly. So then eventually, you might just break even, then you take the last leftovers and they go to the shop. But if they didn't sell, that's probably because they're the ones nobody wants to read, so who cares?
Or maybe eventually in the back issue thing, it may sell one or two of them, but it's just not.
Right, yeah. But anyway, yeah, like the Batman, Superman stuff. Back to that. Or whatever.
Oh, just yeah. How it's going to suck real bad.
How it's going to suck real bad. Yeah. It probably will.
I'm not the type of person who gets it in my head that the movie's going to suck and I will not like it no matter what. Right. So I'm perfectly happy to let my expectations be bottom of the barrel because then I can't possibly be disappointed. Right. But at this point, I'm not planning on paying to see it in the theater.
Yeah, I probably will just because comic books. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff and everything.
But and I'll wait on guys like you to tell me if it's worth
exactly. I'm that stupid canary in the coal mine,
right? To test it out,
motherfucker.
So like you and Jason and all those other guys are like, this movie rocked, and I'm like, all right, I'll check it out.
I'm not anticipating that though. I think it's going to be okay to me.
I think it'll be worse than the first Superman, probably. I don't think it'll be like. I mean,
here's the things that I saw the.
I don't know if it'll be as bad as Daredevil or something.
Right, the new trailers came out and they had more details, and the one thing that made me think it was kind of cool, initially the whole idea of Batman fighting Superman, it's been done in the comics plenty of times.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it simply because I prefer them as a team. It's cooler to me.
And it's just stupidly unrealistic.
Stupidly unrealistic, yes. But all that aside, it's cooler to me, and when you're pulling from that storyline, you're pulling from the storylines that were all dumb and grim and nihilistic, Batman, the world's falling apart. Even Superman is evil now, and Batman's facing him, and sometimes that's cool and in the stories, but as your main flagship movie line, you're going to go with the version where. But of course, it's just the big misunderstanding, and they'll team up against some bad guy in the end.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
But anyway. I kind of got okay, maybe they could pull it off when they show some stuff. It made kind of sense. In this version of the world, from a writing perspective, they'd already set up this case, which again is one of the things I did not like particularly about the Superman movie, where Superman comes in and immediately the whole idea of the story is, will people trust him? Can he trust the Earth?
Right.
And it wasn't just I need to step up and be a hero. I have this power, I must use it. It was people wondering, can we trust this alien? And maybe that's realistic.
Yeah, sure,
but it's just not.
It is, yeah. But comic books are what they are because they're not always super realistic.
Right, yeah, because they're championing noble ideals and heroic deeds and fun.
And entertainment.
And entertainment, yeah.
And, so as long as it makes it entertaining, that's fine, but in this case it didn't really.
Not as, that aspect of it didn't as much. But yeah, so anyway, that all aside, they already did that. So their first movie sets up this world where a super powerful being has been shown to the whole world.
Right.
Now the world's got to deal with it. And so any other people start coming out of the shadows that have power. It's all kind of the lid is off.
Right.
And the first revealing of Superman on a worldwide scale is a massive destructive 9/11 type scenario. And so that makes sense then that Bruce Wayne's been operating in the shadows this whole time. An urban myth. Nobody but the Gotham Police Department believes he exists.
Criminals, yeah.
And now he sees an even potentially even bigger threat. And in the trailer, they show him as Bruce Wayne. And apparently in this version, he's either in Metropolis or something, and it shows a Wayne Tower get hit by one of the I-beams from the fight in the first movie.
Yeah, so he's
and cuts the building in half, and it's falling, and he shows him jump on top of a little girl, and then he's standing there in
what are these fuckers ruining everything?
They must be stopped, So it makes sense. That's good writing, actually. You already set up this scenario where there's distrust of Superman, So if Batman exists and he's never heard of this kind of superpowered creature before, what's he going to do about it? Okay, you kind of sold me there. But at the same time, everything just looks, gray and and I don't think what's his name, Jesse as Luthor is a good choice.
Yeah, Eisenberg.
No.
But I mean, that's one we'll see, I guess. But
I think that one is one of those cases where the casting is wrong, and I will be proven right.
And also, it seems like why would they even need to put so that seems like trying to cram too many characters in. Like if you're having a Batman versus Superman, unless that's why they.
I think that's going to be the big bad guy. Him or what he's doing is going to end up being the big bad guy.
Like he'll realize that this guy's actually out there to help people or something.
Right. Yeah.
And he needs him.
Yeah.
Because he's impossibly powerful.
Right.
He
yeah.
wouldn't be able
exactly.
to do anything anyway.
Right. Yeah. We should work together. Why? Well, because you broke my hand when I punched your face.
Right. What the title of this podcast is going to be.
What's that?
Buttfuckers Glorious.
The Buttfuckers Glorious. Yes.
That's gonna.
I'm writing that down.
You have to put a star to want to be put on YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
But stars glorious.
It's wrong how fun that is to say.
It just rolls off the tongue.
The Buttfuckers Glorious.
Let's see what problems people need us to solve today.
All right, let us solve the world's problems.
I'm going to go to see real quick if Google Trends has anything for us, just to see if there's any stories
we
that
will
jog our
browse
memory.
the...
Because there's occasionally things that that we may want to talk about.
Right.
Ben Roethlisberger, Denver Broncos, Quantico, some stupid FBI show. And Jets, a lot of football stuff. Alright, Chris, more football. It was weird to me to find out that CSI is still making new episodes.
Oh, they've been going forever.
That's since I was in undergrad, 12, 13 years
ago. Is CSI the first one or the...
the Vegas one.
I don't think they have any of the original characters anymore.
Well, that's the thing. No, they do, because it's at least coming back for this finale, because they had Grissom and the one ugly chick who's like, we found a body. I don't remember what her name is.
I know who you're talking about.
Though. Okay, so nothing on that. There's a blood moon.
I know Grissom had left,
he left for a while, and then
never watched it all that religiously.
I watched the first probably 6 seasons, but
I've seen
I've
seen many episodes of many seasons, but I've never seen.
Yeah, me too. I don't know if I've sat down and watched it all. Anyways,
but anything past when he left, I did not see that much. I saw some of the. I did not. I missed that.
I walked outside last night and I couldn't see shit. Around my house there's too many trees anyway, and I think the general consensus was that it was too cloudy around here to see it.
Well, that was part of the problem. One of the reasons it was already pretty cloudy. It's still cloudy today.
I didn't turn into a werewolf or anything cool, so
no. I didn't get blood moon powers.
Yeah. None of that shit would really. If it was anything cool, or anything that actually happened because of Mercury being in retrograde, it would be something terrible, like the gravity turns your colon inside out or something.
Yeah, you just
rectal prolapse, just all of a sudden, my colon popped out.
Cancerous tumors are growing on my forehead
ass is falling out of me. All right, let's see what who are we asking today?
There's Ask Amy, and there's Dear Prudence, and those have been the mines that we've
plundered.
Plundered the mines, digging deep into the...
Too greedy, too fast.
Yeah, digging too greedy and too fast.
Or too deep, too fast, something like that. Ask Amy, advice for the real world. No, we're going to give you advice, and I know what it's going to be. Mm-hmm. It's going to be fucking say something and do something. Nut up, say
just like the Buttfuckers Glorious.
Yeah, just like they would do.
Right. Think to yourself, what would the Buttfuckers do?
WTBGD.
Yeah.
What would the Buttfuckers Glorious do? They would fly.
Yeah. We gotta stop. I'm not going to get... It's too good. Fly, my glorious Buttfucker.
I have to go to the archives. I'm trying to find current ones. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright, so here we have a few. Young mom needs to re-examine choices. Dad's girlfriend wonders how to deal with his spoiled brat. Boyfriend presses send. Girlfriend deletes. That one's interesting to me. Could be sexting.
Mm-hmm.
Legal assistant has legitimate gripe. Retirement plans. Brilliant son disappoints mom. That one should be funny.
Wonder what the disappoint. All right, let's
do the. I want to see the sending and deleting, and then the disappointment.
Son, yeah, let's hit those two. My thoughts
Boyfriend
exactly.
presses send. Girlfriend deletes. Dear Amy, I have been dating my boyfriend for almost a year now.
We've been ever so loving this Britain.
This Britain. The only issue that came up between us is when I told him I would rather that he not keep in touch with past girlfriends. I said absolutely no contact. The past should stay in the past. He can have how generous are what he's allowed to do. He can have contact with his ex-wife because they have kids. But not girlfriends. He agreed to this. Last night I found out he has been in contact with a past girlfriend. His excuse was that he replied to an email out of respect. Now I am feeling betrayed and so hurt I do not know if I can forgive him. What should I do? Alright, so first of all, before we read them, I would be like, he's an idiot for agreeing to any of this. I'll be like, look, you either trust me or you don't trust me. I'm not going to go on fucking my exes.
Right, yeah.
But I'm not making some promise that I won't exchange words with any of them ever again. I mean, it'd be weird if he was currently in contact with them. But there are random situations where people are
contact. Yeah, it depends on the nature of the contact.
That too, but I think to me it seems weird if people really stay in close contact with their exes. But I know it's not always the case for people. Some people do.
I've never had that inclination, so I don't understand it. Really, it's like, okay, if it's done, and I'm just done.
But maybe the people were friends beforehand, and then they went out, and now they're just friends again. Like I said,
I've not been in those scenarios.
So first of all, it's stupid for him to agree to that, to just have her be like, never talk to them again. He's probably like, whatever, I don't talk to them, and didn't think anything of it. Yeah. But it's also stupid for her to have some ultimatum. It's stupid, if he had now that he has already said it though, he probably should have told her. Right. Been like, hey, my ex sent me an email, sent a reply back just because it's weird. And
if you agreed to something,
I'm not just
going
to. Right, that's what I'm saying. But it's stupid for him to ignore an email if it was just sent because he's like, I'm not allowed to talk to you. My girlfriend said, that's stupid.
Exactly.
And that's what I would have said originally. It's been like, no, this is retarded. If someone calls me, I'm not gonna and hang up the phone because I'm not allowed to talk to them.
I can't talk to you.
Right, but be like, I'm not calling my exes. I'm not emailing them. Don't worry about it. So that was his fault and her fault for being weird. So I think it's weird that, but of course, what's he going to do now? Tell her? Be like, she's getting mad because she said not to. So
right. It's probably a case of this person is
he's being weak and she's being overbearing, but he did say it, and now he's basically...
Or he's the kind of guy who does actually kind of get around,
philandering maybe.
Maybe he is philandering, and she has not proof, but real suspicion about it.
But to me, a lot of it
would
depend on what this email was. I mean, obviously, if she found out, she must have read the email. Otherwise, he's not going to tell her, I sent an email.
So ex-wife and girlfriends, so I go, huh?
No, she said she was okay with the ex-wife.
Right, no, but I'm saying just that he has these ex-wives and girlfriends. Obviously, the ex-wife you're going to be in contact with if you have kids with that person.
Right, of course.
But this guy, what I'm guessing is that this guy actually might be. Not that really changes anything.
Because it doesn't change what we're saying.
What you're saying is, you come up to this person and you say either... And if you really don't trust them, then what you say is look, I don't like you talking to them because I don't trust you. You're
that's
starting
the
to
issue. Then that's what the
issue. Right.
Is.
Then that's what the issue is. If you're just trying to say, I think if I make you promise that you're not going to talk to them, that'll prevent.
Then nothing will happen.
Then I won't have to not trust you anymore. It's no.
That's fucked up.
You've already got a situation where you can't trust this
person. Find out why you don't trust them.
Find them why you don't trust them.
If they're not trustworthy, then you should probably get out.
Right.
But let's shoot.
Or if their behavior is of the case that it breaks your reason for being in the relationship, then you need to be acknowledging of that and decide if you're going to forgive or bounce.
Responding to an email is not a betrayal. Of course you can forgive him if you choose to. When someone disappoints you, understanding and forgiveness should be your goal. Your boyfriend defied the rule. You dictated him, but he didn't rob a man in Reno. Perhaps he has a history of cheating, and your behavior makes it seem as if you have a history of being cheated on. Otherwise, you wouldn't feel the need to control the specific aspect of your boyfriend's life. Though I agree that partners should be in touch with exes unless there's an open friendship. If the person you are with has always behaved in a trustworthy manner, then you should assume that he will continue to be trustworthy. You should not snoop or pry, and if you have concerns or insecurities, you should talk about them, blah, blah, blah.
My only problem with that was the initial part with, put down a rule that you put, as if you have a right to put that rule down,
Right.
But otherwise heard
like your boyfriend defied the rule, you dictated to him, like
you why do you get to dictate the rule?
Yeah.
Like
well, that's why it was his problem for like allowing rules to be dictated to him like that.
Right? Yeah.
I would be like, who the fuck do you think you are? You
came to an agreement would be the appropriate way to be discussing this or set this up.
No, it would have been okay for her to be like, hey, it bothers me if you talk to your ex.
Or let's say even if you went that tact and. Irrespective of that point,
what he says, you know what, fine, I won't do it.
Like, you're coming to agreement.
You're
I
not
dictate
talking.
a rule.
Like, you don't just tell people. Yeah, these are fucking adults. You don't.
Right. You just be like, look, like as you said, like, look, it to me, I
don't
tell her. He's
probably got this heartbeat who's gonna be like, no, you didn't talk to her. Try to respond to her himself. Like, stop talking to my boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, it's a pain in the ass. But then, without knowing the history or what the email was, it's kind of hard to really.
He should have just tried to milk some jealousy sex out of it.
That's
that's probably what he's doing. Right.
Exactly.
He's just texting his ex-girlfriends to get pictures so that they'll he can make this his current lady get all hot and bothered.
Yeah. All right. Where's the other one?
Disappointing
Brilliant son disappoints mom. Is that the one?
Let's see what shit show this is.
That's probably just gonna be he did really well in high school and then now he just doesn't have
any plans. Turns out that college doesn't really do anything for you anymore. You're like, oh no.
Oops, I clicked on the wrong one. Just a second.
Or she walked in on him masturbating. I don't know.
Right, yeah, disappointed. He has a small penis. It disappoints. Brilliant son with small penis disappoints. Right.
Or walked in and he was looking at bigblackbooty.com. Like,
or his girlfriend's not hot at all. She's not disappointed.
I think his girlfriend is a closet lesbian.
Right, she's ugly. What? I accidentally clicked on the one where you have to subscribe. Since you've reached your limit of 3 articles for the month. Fuck that. I said archives. Whatever, we'll have to look somewhere. So we're not going to get to read that one.
Bummer.
Here's a different Amy from Philly.
All right, Philly Amy. Uglier. Keep us entertained.
What do we got? Her stance on net dating is conflicting. Her frugal habits are starting to worry him.
A frugal woman? Like
her frugal habits are starting to worry him. So she's probably like using only like 1 square of toilet paper and like other like filthy things like thievery and steal and like wiping.
That's not frugality if you're shoplifting.
Well, I mean just like stealing pens and stuff, or like just rinsing out the.
Let's see that one. Let's see that one.
It is. Or like going somewhere and only eating the
dollar menu items.
Bread, the free bread. Alright, let's see what this is. That's a fairly frugal person myself.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering what they consider frugal that it would become bothersome.
I've been dating Annabelle for about a year. She is so fat and ugly. No, she is nice.
Well, that's not the frugality that's bothering you then, man.
What I used to consider a quirky endearment, I now consider an annoyance. Annabelle is cheap. She says she's a frugal environmentalist. If we get coffee at Starbucks, she'll bring her own mug and take... Well, first of all, nobody who goes to Starbucks is really that frugal.
Yeah.
If you want coffee, you can get it for like pennies.
You can go to get $1 for a 16 ounce.
That's like an environmental thing. Like if you bring your own mug, she takes well, not if she's taking wads of napkins and sugar packets home to use later. So she's just a weird cheapo with like a compulsion. If we go out to
I've known people like that. Like the stuff that bothers me about taking the sugar packets is they just get everywhere and they're not as convenient as spending $1 for a packet of sugar at the grocery store.
Right.
It's just a hassle, but I got a bunch of free sugar out of the thing.
That's the thing. Like you quickly realize what things actually save you money. Like because I even go on the forum. It's the Mr. Money Mustache website, which is all about like saving money, basically, so you can save it and never have to work again.
Right.
But there's some things that people don't get through their head.
Invest or save. Yeah.
And people don't get in their heads of like. I bust out the calculator because people talk about like they'll fret about how many like loads of laundry they're doing a week, and I'm like, look, if you do 3 or 4 loads of laundry, like it's 50 cents or something. Like that's not a big deal. Yeah. Like obviously you can't have the it's not a big deal attitude for everything, or you'll just have money hemorrhaging. But there are some things that aren't a big deal when it comes to the amount. When it comes to the amount of effort that it would take to save any additional money on that. Right. Or I was
like the amount of time it would take to do a load of laundry by hand versus the 50 cents it's going to cost you,
or the amount of effort and just like lifestyle change you would have to go through to not use as many clothes. It would sometimes not be worth it just for an extra 50 cents or something. Because you could spend that time that you'd saved doing anything basically that's making money, and you'll get 50 cents.
Right. I mean,
like I can make a YouTube video while my clothes is being washed, and I'll make a few dollars at least.
Let's say that you didn't have your own laundry and you had to use a laundromat. The amount of money you would spend, $1 to $3 a load, at those places is still probably worth the amount of time you're saving versus if you had to do it before laundry machines were invented.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the amount of work it would take to.
Well, that's not necessarily the point. Because the point is maximizing your savings rate, basically.
Well, yes,
but it's never always maximizing it because everyone has a cutoff point to where you're like, I could live in a van, I could live in a tent and not even have a van. There's always going to be an arbitrary point in which you're saying I'm not comfortable, even though I'm saving more money.
To the Stone Age,
right?
Just
well, because
money.
you can't use a utilitarian argument of this gets you more money because then you would never the whole form is based on retiring early. Where if you were just trying to maximize money, you would never retire. You would just keep earning money and saving 90% of it, and then you'd have shitloads of money by the time. So the whole point is maximizing your personal utility of your life. Right. And then the best way to do that is for most people, is to not have to work all the time. Right. So you want to save as much as you can so you don't have to work for the rest of your life. But there's still always going to be a point at which saving more money is not causing you any additional utility because of this.
Right, it's just making your life harder for no particular
and there's another aspect of it that isn't really that per se, but where people just literally don't do the math. They think that by doing things differently, it'll be cheaper. Like someone was saying, instead of buying dryer sheets, you can use a quarter cup of vinegar or something. And I was like, what? And I was like, first of all, quarter cup is kind of a lot. Yeah. And I was like, dryer sheets are pennies. Yeah. You can get a whole 500 of them for $3. Right. So I was like, there's no way that's cheaper to use vinegar. And I looked it up and it's not. No. Especially if you're buying, and you can even, if you really want to cut the dryer sheet in half, twice as many and you still get a little bit, or just don't fucking use them.
Right. You don't need dryer sheets necessarily.
So that's the type of stupid thing that people think that doing it
this life hack
on their own is always better or cheaper. And I'm like, sometimes you don't do it differently, just do it better.
I think a lot of it is, people want to find a secret tip. Yeah. It sounds sexier than just buying this.
But this woman in particular, it sounds like the stuff that he's bothered by is the environmental stuff. Like it says, when we go out to eat, she brings her own containers, a box of leftovers.
Let's hear more.
She tries to recycle everything. She never buys anything full price, and she clips coupons like crazy. Okay, none of that's really that crazy. When we go out to dinner, she always asks what everyone is getting so she can order something comparable in price. That way, when she split the bill, she won't feel as if she's getting ripped off. Well, that's just stupid.
That's only bad because of the motivation.
Well, it's not worrying about motivation's lame, but it's also, like I said, it's not being calculated. If your goal is to spend the least amount of money, separate the bill, or if you know you're splitting the bill, it still behooves you to order less. You see other people get the benefit of your savings as well, and it makes her mad. She's like, well, if I'm going to split anyway, I might as well get my money's worth.
See, that's what I'm saying. The motivation is the only bad part, because in that case, you're not about frugal. The money. You're about screw you guys. I don't want to pay.
It's about not getting quote unquote ripped off and not paying less than the other people.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not about actually maximizing. Because if she was trying to spend the least amount of money, she would still order the cheapest thing. If she was trying to maximize her money, she would order a much more expensive thing, knowing it was going to be split. That's the real game theory way of doing it.
Right. Yeah.
Is you're
or like I said, if you're trying to save your money,
split the bill.
You split the bill and you pay.
Say, hey, I'm sorry, I can't afford this.
10, and you want to pay 6. Just say, I'll get mine on my own.
Yeah, I'm going to get my own because I'm just trying to save money.
Right.
Yeah. If she needs to run an errand less than 2 miles away, she insists on walking instead of driving. Something wrong with that.
That's actually probably a good thing.
Yeah, that's a great thing. Yeah.
Get some
she should get a bicycle and make it really quick, but
get some healthy exercise in.
I had a friend who was down and out, so I lent him money. She absolutely flipped out and said he was never going to get the money back and that he spent it frivolously. She called him a deadbeat. I mean, that may or may not be true.
Right, but that's his money, so
it's irrelevant. What? Obviously, she has some money issues. This isn't just a case of her being
right. There's obviously frugal. Some fears about money or something, but the way. That's the problem that a lot of people don't understand. They talk about these things that people do, like clipping coupons.
Right.
Clipping coupons isn't bad. The reason he doesn't like it is because he sees what's behind it, but he can't articulate.
Right, he can't articulate the attitude, so it's focused on the action. Whereas most of the people, you would never even know that I do all this stuff because I don't let it affect my attitude. Right. And when I go out to eat, if it's going to be a big stink or something, whatever, I'll just go with the thing because you just make sure that happens less often then, and you factor it into your budget. And bottom line is, like I said, if it gets to the point where you're having to structure your whole life around saving $3, that's stupid. It's much easier to
around making some money.
Yeah, go out and try to make a few. Well, that's another thing is that for most, if you're at the, and this was actually something that I guess that guy wrote, or no, it was Jacob Fisker from Early Retirement Extreme mentioned that it's always good to try and not waste money.
Yeah.
But for people who are either at the extreme lower ends of income or the extreme upper ends, it's actually easier to make more money than it is to increase your savings rate.
Right.
Because as a percentage, obviously if you're making $12,000 a year, cutting anything from your budget is going to be tough. But increasing, like, you could make an extra 10%. Doesn't take that much.
Maybe
you know what I mean?
not, yeah.
Because that's only $100 a month extra. You can get that a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And to you, that's a big increase. To someone who's making $60,000 a year, making an extra 10% is going to be a lot harder. Mm-hmm. And so for them, it's probably easier just to cut one stupid bill or downgrade their house a little bit or not buy quite as an expensive car.
Right, yeah.
Whereas then you go even further and somebody's making tens of millions, like it's a lot easier for them to just make more money than it is to try
start
and
a new venture, invest in
because
something.
You're getting to a point there where even making 3% is making a lot extra money.
Yeah.
And that's easy to do. So obviously this woman has some things, none of these in and of themselves.
Yeah, this guy's complaining about the attitude behind it, but he doesn't know how to.
We realize that she's a stingy
about her
person.
Little thing.
She's a stingy person.
There's a difference between frugality and stingy.
Right, and this person's stingy. Yeah. Like if I was rich, I wouldn't be doing any of this stuff still. I would have it. I would know exactly how much money I had coming in every month, and then I would spend it on stuff that I love. I love spending money. I love doing stuff that costs money.
But being a frugal person and rich, you would say, I have this much I can spend on things like food and entertainment.
It would just be conscious. That's the difference.
Conscious and budgeting.
Spending. Yeah, and plan.
Right.
But...
And if you want to exceed it to get like a cool thing.
But I'm not one of those people who like... I always think it's stupid when the people like... are like happy that like they died with like $50 million because they ate rice and beans even though they were rich. I'm like, that's stupid too.
Right.
I mean, like you can do whatever you want. Do that if you want, but that's... Why is that's just? I mean, that's
that
stupid.
Money ain't spending itself.
At least, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, like just give it to somebody at least. Whatever.
Right.
I don't
at least
care.
Leave it having inheritance.
That's just being. Yeah, that's just a phobia, basically, of like, or a compulsion at that point.
What's the rest of that
one? She has a small group of friends who doesn't like to hang out with people she thinks will take advantage of her. Many of my friends don't like her. Well, she sounds like she has some like issues. Like she's obviously afraid of people taking advantage of her. She's even worried about like. Her having to pay more than her share when a meal split.
That's what I'm saying. She's stingy, or she's got some fears about money or getting taken advantage of.
She doesn't have an abundance mindset. She has a scarcity mindset. Right.
This guy's getting bugged by that kind of like edge to her.
And all he notices are the actions without realizing that that's.
And that's all he can explain without noticing and saying to this person who's asking advice to say, "Look, frugality is fine." Because like initially, the first couple things, like, "Oh, she brings her own cup to Starbucks." They sell cups for you to bring to Starbucks.
Yeah, that's not
part
that
of the
weird.
thing.
He just notices that she's the person, and the reasons she's doing it are all weird.
Right, exactly. The reasons are motivated by some sort of fear.
Like these
or
are the
bitterness.
type of people who she's probably wasting money on all sorts of stupid shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like she's really just being ultra frugal, never spending money on anything.
Because that's usually
that makes
more sense.
Right. Right. It's a robotic kind of way of like, I just don't spend money.
Right. Yeah.
And like, this is how, so it's a different type of compulsion for her.
Right.
Okay, so some of what Annabelle, this is the answer. Some of what Annabelle is doing is commendable, except stealing napkins and sugar from Starbucks. Where's the environmental benefit in taking paper and sugar individually packaged for use at home? Well, that's what I just said, too. I was like, that's not... Well, like I said, we figured out pretty quickly this isn't her real issue.
No, exactly.
Like, she feels compelled, like, oh, this is for the environment, but that she's not really motivated in most of the things she does to do them in the most eco-conscious way possible.
Footprint-conscious way, or whatever you want to...
Beyond your girlfriend's commitment to the environment, your account makes her sound stingy, unpleasant, and intractable. Yeah, that's what we said. Because she thinks of her less attractive characteristics as being those of a frugal environment, she's not likely to change. She seems to think she's saving the planet by being exactly as she is.
That's something a lot of people do, though. Not necessarily with environmentalism, but they gussy up what is their problems.
They rationalize.
Right. Well, it's not only that they rationalize; they gussy it up as a noble thing.
Right.
Like I'm doing. That's why like
that's
global
a rationalization.
Warming,
yeah.
Yes, but I mean it's almost worse than just rationalization because rationalization.
Well, they rationalize why it's a good thing.
It's a form of rationalization, but like it's more annoying because they're not only are they excusing it, they're championing it.
Right.
That's why I'm saying they gussy it up. The rationalization is excusing what you do. Now you can rationalize it that many ways. You can rationalize it as it's bad, but that's okay because of X, or it is good, or it's great, and they're rationalizing it as it's great. They're rationalizing it that it's something you should champion. Like, oh, look how much of an environmentalist I am as I do these dumb things.
Well, the answer, his actual question was, how do I get her to tone down this abnormal behavior?
Yeah.
So, and she said, her answer was, you should demonstrate that you're capable of adopting some of your girlfriend's practices. In return, you should see if she's capable of being generous. I don't like that advice. Because that's saying, like, you go along with her and see if maybe she decides. This woman is not going to just go along because she has an issue.
You need to go that would have any merit would be to say, you could say, okay, baby, frugality is important to you, saving money, that's fine. You know what? Let's save some money this month. Right. But here's what's also going to happen. Like, but then that's not
first
you
of all,
taking her practices. Right. That's you saying, I will do something that matters to you, but we're going to do it my way.
I can tell by looking at this, just this woman's finances are probably a mess.
Yeah.
She's probably not saving money.
No.
She's probably not frugal in a lot of other areas. Right. The fact that she's even going to getting
she's
her Starbucks,
sort of
getting her coffee. Yeah, she's got a scarcity mentality. There's a lot of people who are like that are cheap. Like when the guy Jacob Fisker from Early Retirement Extreme. Like the difference is, a lot of people go buy, and like if they needed a jacket, they'll go buy if someone like this will want to spend the least amount of money possible on
$20 in a Walmart jacket that falls apart.
Yeah, and then he bought like his boots were like $300, and his jacket was like $500. He kept them for 10 years. Right. And this is a guy who's living off $6,000 a year. Right. Like he's the epitome of like frugal living.
Right.
But because he was doing it as a conscious decision of like, how can I spend the least amount of money over 10 years to buy this high quality jacket? This woman is not a conscious decision for her. She's not doing this to save money. She's doing it because she has a scarcity mindset and she feels like the world's taking advantage of her and she doesn't want to let go of her money or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. The very picture of the miser.
So to treat this like as a logical thing, like, oh, I'll drop some of your frugal, but that's not really why she's doing it. And she's probably able to rationalize it to herself as an environmentalist thing. Or she probably has some of that too. Like, oh, it makes me feel good when I feel like I'm helping the environment. But I doubt she's composting all her chicken scraps and doing all this other kitchen scraps and doing everything else that she could do, the easy stuff.
Right.
And obviously,
that's the thing. Like, if you want to do some sort of like thing where you participate in it, like the only way that I think would work would be, like I said, like if you, as the guy,
to find out, like to address the real
you got to address the root. But one of the ways that you could maybe get at that is say, like, okay, fine, we'll start being more frugal all together.
Right.
But we're doing it my way. So then
we're doing it in a way that actually makes sense.
Right. So then you could kind of break the habits that are of that kind and go with the habits of just frugality.
Right.
Then maybe the person will start to say, oh, well, then this obviously didn't matter because now we're saving more money doing this. Like, maybe they'll see it, but that still might not work.
Instead of going out to eat, instead of going to Starbucks, be like, hey, let's go buy coffee.
Pound of coffee at the grocery store
for $5.
And a drip machine.
Yeah, exactly.
For the cost of 5 coffees.
And now because of all that money you save every month on Starbucks, you can not worry about your fucking bill once a month when we go out to eat with our friends or whatever.
Right, yeah. Yeah, like you can basically the two options are dialectic or rhetoric. The dialectic is that you go in and show them the real way to be frugal and hopefully break the pathologies but that will only work if they are capable of understanding.
Yeah, they still have to get past the scarcity mindset for that to work.
Or whatever bitterness mindset that's going on, where it might not just be a material scarcity mindset. It's just
that's not really what a scarcity mindset is. It's an idea of like that the world's out there taking from you all the time, and you're like have to defend against it. You know what I mean?
So you have to.
And that there's not enough there.
So the only other way would be to address that, or you just might not be able to. You know,
and if she's obviously crazy, fucking move on. If she's a crazy bitch.
Then you might just have to be in a situation which your only option is to always put your foot down. Like basically like, no, we're doing it my way.
Right.
Like you're gonna pay your fucking share thing, you're not gonna embarrass me in front of my friends. She's like, well, I don't want to be like,
then you're not going.
Then fucking get out of here.
Yeah, then you're not going.
And then she might shape up or she might, decide you might both decide you aren't right for each other.
Right. Exactly. I want to see her stance on net dating is conflicting.
Yeah, let's see this one. Net dating is conflicting.
I'm thinking internet dating, I'm assuming, but
yeah.
I'm a single female in my 30s. I'm not into the bar scene, so I use internet sites to meet and date men. I also have
a manly voice like this.
Anyways, single female 30s, doesn't like the bar scene, uses internet. Not that weird these days. If I like a man's profile, I write to him. Upon their reply, men immediately give me their phone numbers and ask me to call them. I made the first move by writing them, so I believe they should take over the pursuing role. I will call them after I get to know them, but not at the beginning. Am I too old-fashioned and society switched roles on me, or have women before me been so rude that these men are gun-shy? Probably a little bit of that. The problem is, like, I don't understand, like, so they give me their phone numbers and ask me to call them. So she thinks they should take over the pursuing role. What does she think they should do? Send them your number. Be like, here's my number, you can call me. If she's doing that, it doesn't sound like she's actually doing anything. Right. Like, she's just like, hi, and then it's like, oh, I should be done now.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I've said hi. They should just do everything.
And she's not considering them giving a phone number and saying, hey, you call me as a pursuing move.
Right, that's what I was saying. They said, here, give me a call. I mean, like, if they don't, I'm assuming they don't have her number. She
made a step.
Right.
They made a step.
They responded and they said, oh, cool, let's talk.
What she's mad is they didn't make 2 steps for her 1 step.
Well, she's mad they didn't make a step they potentially couldn't have made. Like, she didn't say she gave them their number. She said, they give me their number and ask me to call. And she's like, well, they should take over pursuing. Like, so what? Like, give them your number then. I'm sure they'll call you. If you're like, here's my number, give me a call. I'm sure they'll do it.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
like so I don't understand what her fucking expects him to do.
It's the problem of internet dating is like it just that kind of stuff where people have expectations like real world stuff and it doesn't work. Like logistically in internet dating, that's the only thing you can do is talk back and forth and then exchange contact.
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like she seems at the act of them being like, "Here's my numbers." It's like, "Oh, you expect me to like you or something?" And it's like, "What?"
Well, it's her own cowardice. Like she, as the woman, is like I said, she's kind of traditional about it, which is understandable. But at the same time, she's all like, "I can't call them,"
right?
And that's scary to her for some reason.
Well, even if she does, okay, so who cares? Well, so like, give him your number then.
Right. Then just refute it.
Maybe doing, which
not refute it, but I'm sorry. Your response to that should be like, actually, why don't you call me?
Yeah, here's my number. Give me a call.
Guys would actually take that very positively.
Right, of course. And the only reason they're sending their numbers is because most women won't do anything and they won't give their numbers. They're like, well, if you're actually interested, give me a call. Because most women, if you're like, hey, can I have your number? They're going to be like, ew, I don't want to give you my number.
Most of the time, that gets nothing out of them. So these guys are just going to be, well, I'll give you my number.
No, if you're actually interested, you can call. You don't have to give your number out to some random guy.
Right. They think they're being.
So I don't know what she's expecting.
They think they're being considerate. I think is probably what they think
by not asking for your number of someone that you don't know.
They think they're offering you a safe option to talk to them
without having to give your personal information.
My personal information. I don't have yours.
Right. Exactly. So she's just weirded out.
Yeah.
Says, and her answer is a protocol of sorts has emerged for internet meeting and matching, which men offer their phone numbers, giving women the opportunity to call. Men who do this aren't necessarily expecting you to pursue them. That's true. They're acknowledging that women are sometimes reluctant to give out their phone numbers for security reasons. Exactly That's what we just said. Yeah. A guy who does this is telling you that he's interested and would like to hear from you. Seems a little cockeyed that you would be willing to post and respond to online profiles and expect a guy to, quote, pursue you. Men exclusively pursuing women is a relationship relic. Well, not really. It's just not. I don't even know what she means by pursuing in that context.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was talking about, like the internet versus real life stuff. It's the problem is that people have these expectations based on like life or movies where it's all face-to-face stuff, and it's different on the internet just because of logistics and because of these kind of concerns. Like I said, like there's concerns of privacy and giving away your information to strangers that just isn't there in the face-to-face conversation as much.
Right.
Versus on the internet, men started adopting this protocol because women started having these fears.
These reservations,
Right. Women had these big reservations about like, well, this is the picture.
I guarantee you, if the guys had all been like, hey, let me get your number, I'll call you. She'd be like, oh, I don't want to give him my number.
Guys,
yeah, exactly. So she's just...
These strangos want my number.
Strangos. What she didn't know is, I bet if it was a member of the ButtF Gloria, she would call that right away. Quick.
She would have dropped her pants.
Yeah. All right, so that's probably all the advice we got today. Without my ball massager,
I'm a little bit. It stimulates.
Yeah, it stimulates the thought process, the blood flow.
Yes, the thought process.
The thought process. Right, processes.
I feel all these thoughts bubbling up.
Yeah, we're welling up inside. So many thoughts.
It's all these thoughts. Hey, baby, let me share my thoughts with you.
Yeah. And we should make a glorious book about the
glorious ButtFuckers.
The ButtFuckers Glorious.
The ButtFuckers Glorious, yes. Yeah. The life and times of the ButtFuckers Glorious. The magical adventures.
Right, there we go.
It's like one of those kind of like Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey's font, like
exactly.
The ButtFuckers Glorious.
So that's all for today, gentlemen and ladies. Meine Damen und Herren.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.
Adios.